90% of traders fail, while a few manage to beat the market by miles. In 2024, I made a whopping 168% return swing trading TQQ while holding these trades for only, 14 days on average. Crazy, right? So impossible? No. And in this video, I'll show exactly how I did it step by step. Hey, let's face it, most traders lose money because they rely on emotions or don't have a clear system. The constant swings in leveraged ETFs like TQQ can feel like chaos. Years ago, I was stuck in the same cycle, chasing trades, second guessing myself and letting small wins turn into losses. But everything changed when I developed a swing trading system called the AutoPilot Trading System. It provided both clear and repeatable process for doing very well in the market. In 2024, I used this system to capture consistent profits, turning volatility of something like TQQ into a significant return, 168%, while avoiding most of the major risk. Now, to be clear, this video is not promising 168 yearly returns. Every year is different, and past performance doesn't guarantee future results. But what I'll show you today are real trades from 2024 and how my autopilot trading system has delivered profitable results consistently over the years. Hey, by the way, this system is something I've developed and refined over the past 20 years. I cover it in detail in my book, Trade Your Way to Freedom. If you're serious about improving your trading, make sure to check it out. Hey, here's the best part. In just a few moments, I'm going to jump onto a live chart and show you exactly where and how I took the trades in 2024 on TQQ. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss this. So how did I do it? It comes down to three key principles: clarity, consistency, and control. The first principle is clarity. To trade TQQ effectively, you need to understand the market's directions. This ETF is leveraged. It magnifies both gains and losses. If you're trading during the wrong market phase, you're just gambling. I like to take a comparison between buy and hold and the actual swing trades that I did to get an idea of, in the past, how has a buy and hold type of strategy worked in comparison to the swing trading strategy. Look at this comparison. In 2022, a buy and hold strategy for TQQ, if you would have bought it at the beginning of the year, held it through the end, resulted in a down move of 79%. And that's massive, but swing trading oftentimes avoids those big drawdowns because you have some very strict rules that get you out before the drawdown happens. So by only entering in strong uptrends, look what happens. We get multiple trades during the year that compounds at 186%. In 2024, this approach turned a 56% buy and hold potential to a 168% compounded return for swing trading. That clarity from using key indicators and patterns to identify the right market conditions, an essential first step in the process. But clarity, is just the beginning. Let's dive into the exact entry and exit strategies that made this consistency possible. I'll walk you through them in the chart of TQQ. Okay, on the little chart here that basically shows the actual returns of the trades, on 1/9/2024, I gotta have a trigger. We'll look at the chart shortly to see what that looks like. And it's over here. There's a trigger to get into a trade. The way I structure my trades is I actually don't try to stay in for a long period of time. What I do is I take profits at 10%, 20%, and then hold the rest of it until it either stops out, still at a gain. So on average, the three exits I made for the trade from 1/9 resulted in a 14.6% gain for that aspect. And then a few weeks later, actually a few months, on 425, I jump into the potential trade and it generates a 16% total return. And the result of all that compounding as we go down generated a return of 168%. Note that I had one losing trade and I lost 2.8%, and that was back in September of last year. But let's take a closer look at the charts themselves. Okay, here's a yearly chart of TQQ for 2024. And at the point right above my head there is the initial entry I made on January 9th, and I captured a 14.6% gain in 14 days. And so what does that particular trade look like? Let's jump to a little bit of a close up on that. And there we go. Okay. On the 9th, around the 9th and 8th, we get a reversal signal on TQQ and we jump in above the little blue line there, which is the 8-day moving average. And it goes off on a nice run up to this past peak. Now, I'm not trying to hang in this trade all the way until we get up here because basically we don't know if it's going to go that far. Matter of fact, we don't know if it's going to actually go up that far. However, by keeping your very clear picture of what we're doing and taking profits on the way, it generates a very nice return. So what was that return? So we jumped in here on the 9th, went across back above the 8-day, and then the total run up to until it topped out there, it was 20%. So again, as I'm moving up, I'm taking my profits at 10%, 20%, and then it failed and sold out the rest of it over here for an average return of 14%, which is excellent. So one of the other trades in the chart happened here on June 3rd and 4th, and taking the trade from here, basically stretching it on up, we were able to do a similar type trade from the low trigger to the high, 21%. And we closed out this trade for a 17.2% return. So notice how the system caught these moves perfectly while avoiding the dips that would gotten you out of the trade totally. This is the power of a clear system. It's all based on technical indicators and price action rules that tell you exactly when to get in, and we basically measure when to get out. Again, as I explained in the larger chart, let's blow it up and see exactly what these look like. Here's the June 3rd and 4th. We had a trigger, then we trigger into the trade here, and we were only taking this piece right here. Now it actually set up again later in the month, and we were able to jump on that again. Well, I tie all my trades basically to the shift of the ESI, which is the true strength index, plus finding a level of support, candlestick reversal signal, and then a break either back above or close above the 8-day EMA, and then I jump on the trade from there. And the very simple way I do this, again, part of the system, is I put a conditional order to buy if I get a close above the 8. That's it. And then the exit trades, along with a 5% stop loss, are put in so they exit automatically through the rest of the particular trade. In the year of 2024, there actually turned out to be 11 actual trades that we were able to take advantage of. Now, on a normal year, full disclosure here, in a normal year on trading TQQ, there's somewhere between 4 and 6 trading opportunities. Now, notice on the chart that I put up earlier, in the other years, it was basically a 4 to 6 opportunities to trade. And as you can see, compounded very nicely. One of the neat things about this process and the system is that you can still do well even if the market is turning down. And there's a reason for that, and I'll have to save that for another video of explaining why that happens. Hey, folks, remember, this isn't something I just came up with overnight. I've been tracking TQQ since its inception back in 2011. And the autopilot trading system is a result of over 20 years of experience, testing, refinement to ensure it works for busy traders like you. I developed this while I was working full time as an engineer, working 6 to 7 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day. I just wanted to be trading, but I had to find a way to keep it clear and simple. So if you're wondering how to set up trades like this yourself, I've got you covered. I'll explain how I manage risk and keep emotions in check so you can trade confidently. The third principle is control. Even with the best strategy, emotional decisions can wreck your trading. That's why risk management is non negotiable. For every trade, I set a stop loss and limit my portfolio exposure. Typically, I use somewhere between a 7 and a 5% stop loss so that my reward risk comes out to somewhere about 2 to 1. In other words, $2 gain for every dollar risk. So this meant no single trade can ruin my account even during volatile periods. I highlight the emotional benefits. Well, one, knowing that my risk was controlled gave me confidence to stick to the system, the process. Because what I've found throughout my years of trading, if I focus on the outcome, in other words, the profits, if you will, that can oftentimes get me hung up where I make dumb mistakes. Where if I focus on the process and how the process makes me a better trader, then I can say, hey, I'm a really good trader. Then the outcome takes care of itself. Hey, here's the truth. None of this would have worked if I hadn't have made a key mindset shift. I stopped focusing on winning every trade and started focusing on the system as a whole. This is where most traders struggle. They obsess over individual trades instead of the bigger picture. But when you stick to a proven system, you don't need to win every trade to win big over time. This shift for me from emotional trading to disciplined execution completely transformed my results. So here's what you can take away from today's presentation. One is you don't need to trade every day. Focus on high quality setups. Number two, pre plan your trades to avoid emotional decision making. Three, always manage risk. Protecting your capital is just as important as growing it. And remember, the goal isn't to be right on every trade, it's to stay consistent and let the system do the heavy lifting. If you're ready to take the next step, I encourage you to visit www.autopilottraders.com to learn more about how Autopilot Trading System works and how it can help you achieve results that will blow your mind. Hey, drop a comment below. Tell us what's the biggest challenge with trading leverage ETF like TQQ that you're having. I'd love to help. So, hey, stay tuned for more great tips in the video that's coming up right over there.